Alright, so listen up. The time has come for another awakening in the story of Blue Lock, but this time, we've seen enough of the strikers and the selfish. Instead, the crow will now use its wings to help others fly to heights they could never reach alone. Aside from me becoming a literal poet, I know, no need to glaze me in the comments, but the Blue Lock chapter 335 officials did drop early this week. I apologize for not being on top of it, but I will be back to my regular routine of posting both leaks and officials every week, worry not. Anyways, today we will be going over the new chapter as always, so make sure to subscribe to the channel, comment your predictions, and with that all out of the way, please enjoy. Today's chapter begins with us seeing France's goalkeeper pull his arm back and begin throwing the ball back into play. Oliver Aiku then screams at Blue Lock to fall back as France starts a counter with this long throw-in. Meanwhile, Aryu and Reo are already aware of the prominent threat we see at the bottom of the page. Japan's reverse flash, Julian Loki, who's already sprinting towards the ball with his eyes fully widened out. With the goalkeeper putting his full force behind it, we see France launch the ball back into play as everyone reacts. Itojirin is really the only Japanese attacker we can see here, and he's being left in the dust by a speeding Julian Loki. It's a valiant effort to try and pursue him, but even Rin isn't fast enough to keep up with this level of speed. With Japan obviously getting just straight BTA so far, we cut over to their bench where Henri's freaking out. While Hugo is just slouched forward in the background, Henri is sweating and screaming that nothing is working because France is anticipating all of their tactics. She then brings up the forbidden topic of possible substitutions, and despite asking if Hugo even has any plans, he just sits there with a cold, focused expression. Worry not though, because as we saw in the original U20 game, Hugo Jinpachi always has a plan. At least, I hope so. Anyways, at the bottom of the page, we see France's captain catch up to the throw-in and trap it perfectly, showing not only insane speed, but of course beautiful ball control and spatial awareness. Once again flexing his speed and acceleration, Loki blitzes past both hiori and Isagi Yoichi as another player can be seen trying to intercept this path in the distance. As Loki gets closer towards the bottom of the page, we see that it's one of Japan's own speedsters, Chigure Hyoma, who manages to get on Loki's left and actually wrap an arm around him. Chigure fans can sleep well tonight, because this page shows him keeping an amazing mark on France's captain. With the two sprinting shoulder to shoulder up the field, Chigure does seem to struggle more a bit though as it goes on. From angles above and below the duel, we clearly see Loki using his strength and hand placement to push Chigure back, with even Japan's speedster noting that he's not just fast, he's pushing through me. Despite his best efforts, Chigure begins to think that Loki is about to get past him. However, that thought is cut off immediately by his own teammate, Karasu Tabito. Sliding in with precision and leaving Loki with a shocked expression, Karasu comes in from the shadows and sweeps the ball away with a perfectly timed slide tackle. With Chigure and Karasu exchanging quick compliments for their defensive efforts, Karasu regains possession for Japan and is posted up like an absolute badass here. Maybe I'm just crazy, but it even seems like Japan has a rough formula for handling Loki's speed now. Preferably use a speedster that can cut him off before he reaches his peak speed, then have another defender like Karasu, Aiku, or Reo step in and catch him off guard right when he's dribbling. We then get a peek into Karasu's thought process as he credits Chigure's speed as the only reason he got that interception. Thanks to Chigure racing Loki and holding his attention, Karasu was able to analyze Loki's dribbling rhythm and cut him off in time. As we then see a wider view of the field with Loki already sprinting back at him, Karasu starts wondering what to do next, since they have to assume that Isagi Yoichi is not an option to rely on anymore. With Charles urging him on and Hugo side-eyeing him, Karasu starts sweating as he realizes that at this rate, France will just keep reading them and slowly crush Japan. Sprinting ahead with the ball, Tabito Karasu says that he has to do something himself, with the crow even flying above him with feathers falling all around. Unfortunately, he's not the main character, so before Karasu can aura farm too much, we then see Isagi Yoichi falling back to the previous chapter where Hugo basically told him to be a good boy and obey his philosophy. Standing there with little to do, Isagi is drenched in sweat and admits that his abilities are not effective here. With puzzle pieces crumbling from his face to represent his fading identity and lack of confidence, Isagi hears Hugo's words echoing in his head. Obey your destiny and live as second best. He even admits that if he stopped focusing on scoring and instead focused on helping the team win, yeah, they probably could evolve. Isagi even acknowledges that this could be the best current way to defeat U20 France. But that would not be what Blue Lock taught him. Peeking out from behind Charles, Isagi calls out for the pass and remembers his vow to become the world's greatest striker. With his confidence returning, he promises Karasu he can make something happen and doubles down that his ego will never waver. How many times has bro said that, and then we see his ego waver? Come on now. Back on the other end of things though, Karasu is calling Isagi a dumbass because up against a team like France, confidence and acting on a whim is not going to cut it. Despite Isagi being seen breaking free from behind Charles, Karasu goes on to repeat exactly what Hugo was saying. If Blue Lock keeps relying on Isagi Yoichi here, they will completely die and lose this tournament. As we then get a close-up of Karasu's eyes shifting into those crystal clear flow eyes, he says that they need to change. With him then awakening in an amazing double spread, Tabito Karasu makes it clear. He must change for Japan's sake. Karasu will become their second best. As he declares this with his eyes shifting in color, Karasu begins to transform into a literal crow man, with wings growing from his back, his hands turning into claws, and his aura even taking the shape of fur wrapping around his neck. I mean, bro really just summoned a Landvin coat in the middle of the match. You can't compete with that type of aura. That's like 3 bands right there. It's honestly my favorite aura manifestation in all of Blue Lock, no exaggeration, but let me know what your thoughts are on the furry style transformations in Blue Lock. With Bats trying to step in and take the ball, Karasu actually uses Isagi as bait to feint a pass, then cuts and dashes past the defender instead. Even Hugo and Charles look shocked by this, meanwhile Isagi immediately realizes that he was used as bait. It doesn't feel good now, does it, buddy? Isagi's confused as hell since they never practiced a pattern like this before, so he starts wondering what Karasu is thinking or if he plans on scoring on his own. But as Karasu sprints past him and scans the field with his metavision, he makes it clear that he's not going for a shot here as Charles and France's goalkeeper react. With a full page showing Karasu's mental state, he realizes that he has to stop thinking of himself as a striker from now on. Despite entering Blue Lock wanting to be the best in that role, he now wants to erase that mindset and devise a new plan. By becoming Japan's second best, Tabito Karasu says that with him in control, he can bring victory to Japan. He looks ahead at his 3 options in Isagi Yoichi, Itoshi Rin, and Shigure Hyoma, but he has the same reaction to all of them. Not there. That's no good either. No, you dumbass. With Hugo marking Rin, Bats on Shigure, and Isagi just being Isagi, Karasu deems all of his current options as underqualified. Saying they must throw out all current plans, Karasu reaches forward with a crow-like claw and says that there's only one person he deems as suitable for scoring right now. Finally swinging through with a pass across these pages, Karasu fires off the ball while calling this player an extraordinary striker for this moment. Rin is marked by Hugo, Batra and Isagi are far behind the play, so the question becomes, who is he referring to? The answer is Japan's left wingback and Karasu's old buddy, Hiori. We see him trap Karasu's pass on the final page, and with the two glancing at each other and their auras flaring, Hiori and Tabito Karasu are now linking up and preparing to challenge U20 France. And that's the chapter. Karasu is awakened and decided his skills serve him best as Japan's number 2, the player who guides their natural-born geniuses to the top. And right now, the genius he's betting on is Hiori, which already has surprised and angered parts of the community. I should have my video done and dropping tomorrow on Hiori and what I expect from him, but let me know what you think in the comments. Is Hiori worthy of being Karasu's number 1, and what do you think he could do in the next chapter titled Crow and Ice, I believe? Maybe Hiori is not even the striker he has in mind, but just a desired piece to help him help that striker. No matter the case, as always, make sure to click that subscribe button on top of commenting below since both really help the channel. Feel free to also hit that notification bell or join my community Discord if you want to stay updated, because YouTube alone does not always do a great job. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, have a great rest of your day, and if you heard any audio interference in the past 2 minutes, I apologize, blame Karasu. There's literally crows flying right outside of my window, just cawing away.